I don't believe it. We're here again. We're back. We're back. We haven't been cancelled like everything else in the world.
Not
Half
yet.
baked back. Not yet. Um, there's always time. There's always time. Half baked is back for a third series by popular demand.
What happened, what happened to the second series? I don't remember there being a second series.
Half baked is back. We're back for a second series by popular demand. The demand has been incredibly popular, and therefore we had to come back. So let's get into it because I've missed this so much. Phil, how are you doing? You're in the land of the free, right? Is it still a land of the free? I don't know. We're living in post everything times. How are you doing wherever you are?
Wherever I am in sunny northern Southern California, I can't even say it. Yeah, things are good. I mean, it's all new, right? We've been off. We haven't done one of these for a year and a half or something like that. So it's it's refreshing me back. But I think we should just get right into it, Alistair.
Let's get right into it. You do need to ask how I am, obviously, or
How are
else.
you, Alistair?
Phil, that's lovely for you to ask. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, as you were, nothing's changed. I'm slightly more bold than I was last time. There's nothing I can do about that. And to everyone else who's watching and tuning in and sharing and all those things, it's great to see you all on this podcast thing, whatever we are, I don't know, YouTube channel called Half Baked. And Half Baked, lest we forget, is the podcast thing where grown northerners argue. One of us is going to present a half-baked idea for the two of us to debate and decide, ultimately, whether it should be fully baked or not by the end of the episode. It's all about seeing where we get to. Some ideas are going to be serious. Some ideas are going to be ridiculous. We tend to cover the whole gamut from an antipathy to apathy, from the frivolous to the frivolous on this show. It's my... Phil, you said let's get straight into it, and I've just done like a minute of not getting into it. Shall I get into it now?
Please do.
My half-baked idea today is it's all about cats. And I'm going to posit the half-baked idea, that cats are the most useless of animals. They're hopeless. Cats have been with us for, I don't know, I should have probably looked it up, but they've been kind of domesticated, haven't they, over the last 1,000, 2,000 years or so. But where's that actually got us? I think it's got us an animal that is there for the YouTube generation. That's pretty much it. Apart from porn, nothing, I don't think, has been responsible for the growth of video or YouTube other than cats. I should explain, I've got a cat. I love my cat very much, but I think I'm wrong too, because I think it's kind of a pointless creature. Phil, you have a cat recently purchased or stolen, is that not right?
Not stolen, but yeah, saved from the shelter or whatever it was. I'm actually allergic to cats, and I had a cat when I was growing up, and I had a cat when I was at university, and I haven't had a cat since then. But just recently, after a break of 35 years or something, we got a cat around Thanksgiving last year. So yeah, it's all back with a cat. But go ahead.
Why did you get a cat?
Because the kids wanted a pet, and I didn't want a dog because I knew what would happen if we had a dog. Muggins would end up having to walk it, and the kid, oh yeah, we'll do it. Another one. So yeah, cats are much less hassle in that respect.
They are. I mean, let's get into that. They are much less hassle. I couldn't be bothered walking a dog. I don't want to. I don't know what the crack is in Northern California, but in the UK, when your dog has a dump, you have to pick the dump up.
That's
which
right.
is just, what's that about? I mean, when did that become tolerable? When I don't even want to touch my own bab, never mind that of my dog. So the good thing about cats is mine just doesn't seem to like have a shit at all, which is amazing. Because I never see you doing it, and I never see any poo anywhere. So that's fantastic. However, it's about the only good thing about cats. Cats are useless. They're kind of they're just they're kind of pointless. But I do love it. So what does that say about me? That's what we're going to get into. So a couple of reasons why I think cats are useless. Number one, their arseholes are too prominent. So I accidentally touched my cat's arse the other week.
I mean,
And I was,
that's number one. That's
yeah,
number one on your list. Like,
yeah.
I don't see how that's got to be number one on your list. But why? What? Tell me more about it.
Well,
I don't understand. Why have you touched your cat's ass? I don't understand why you would do that. I mean, you pick up your cat, you touch the cat's ass in that way, but it sounds like you've done something a little bit more than that.
No. It wasn't a deliberate anything. It was accidental, and it was very rubbery and unpleasant. And I never want to do it again. But the problem here is its arse is too prominent. It's like proper animals, bums, are like hidden away, or they've got clothes, or they're not just there sticking, pushing themselves onto your finger.
Remember, you've been recorded, Alistair, and this could be used as evidence in court against you.
Okay, so I mean,
it's your finger.
Hardly a first for half baked. Go
on. Okay, have we explored number one thoroughly?
Well, I think it's a design flaw. You don't seem to agree. I think it's a fundamental design flaw.
I still can't believe that's number one.
Number two.
I'm interested in what the number two is then.
Number two, cats are terrible decision makers. Terrible. They're like, I think their brains are just big enough to be able to take decisions, but not so big that they will ever take the right decision. They're stuck in a perpetual loop of rubbish decision making. Given the choice between having a hug from me or running under a car, my cat would find a bus and run under the bus rather than have a hug. And I just think that would be a terrible decision, and they're hopeless. And I think part of the decisions, or rather part of the reasons cats are such bad decision makers, is another one of my points. They've only got two states. They're either asleep or they're on ultra high alert, and there's nothing in between. If they're and think about that. That's madness, right? If you're asleep and something bad happens, you're going to die. Oh, I didn't want to get away because I was asleep, because I sleep 20 hours a day. But then when they're not asleep, they're expecting really bad things to happen all the time. They are the most anxious creatures in the world. So to not have any middle ground between those two states is hopeless. And I think because of that, they just make really bad decisions, like jumping into bins and then dying. There you go. Three really strong reasons: arsehole, decision, brain, and anxious state. Maybe four things. What do you think?
I got one, and I understood two, but then three and four suddenly turned up out of nowhere. There, I thought we were talking about two, and I think let's go back to bad decision makers. I think cats are risk takers, and you've got to applaud them for it. Not literally, but they'll look at a tree and go, I can go up, or a fence. I can go up on that fence. I can go up on that tree. I'm going to go up on that tree, and so they do it, and they go, how do I get down? I haven't fully thought this through. Screw it. I'll figure it out. And it spends a lot of time trying to figure it out, and eventually it gets itself down, or it meows enough that it gets itself down by somebody calling the local fire brigade. But they're risk takers, and they're constantly interested in finding the next big thing.
That's a terrible decision. To climb the tree was a terrible decision.
Is it a terrible decision? I mean, life's about making your life interesting. Cats make their life interesting.
Cats
by getting themselves
having an interesting life does not equal climbing a tree and getting stuck.
Don't forget, they have 9 lives, Alistair. So they can afford to throw a few away on random things they're doing because they've always got a few more left.
Good
You
point.
don't do dangerous things because you've only got one life. Imagine it's like playing a computer game like Call of Duty where you can run around and get shot at and die, but then you're not really dead. You still get to have another go. That's a
Yeah,
cat's life or
yeah,
life.
yeah, that's true.
So I think that's why they're such risk takers because they don't give a shit about their current life because they've always got another one in backup.
But okay, do they really?
Yeah,
Do they really? They do. That's
yeah.
an absolute empirical fact. I mean, if it is, then fair enough. I mea culpa. I should know.
Scientific. Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. What you seem to think is taking a risk. I think is terrible, terrible decision making. Just appalling. So what else? What else? Cats are walking food factories, aren't they? Food. That's all they do. That's the only reason why they exist, apart from to sleep and take terrible decisions and to push their arseholes in your hand. You put food in one end and it digests it, and then it poos it out. Probably, assumingly, even though I've never seen it happen, thankfully. And that's it. That's all it does. I mean, I know I'm going thick and fast here, but it's only because there are so many reasons that cats are rubbish. And I'll give you another one. If I died, when I die, if I was to die tonight in my bed, the cat would eat the rest of its food, right? It would stare at the bag of food and it wouldn't be able to do anything about it because it's helpless, because its arms don't have opposable thumbs and therefore couldn't open it. Hopeless. I'd give it 2 days before it started eating me. I'd be found in a week. I'd probably be minus some key parts of my body, and the cat wouldn't care. The cat that hitherto I've been thinking really cares for me, really loves me, would just eat me, and wouldn't. The fact that I was dead and not moving, it would be completely inconsequential. That's bad, right?
Is it? I mean, that's nature. Animals are there, and then they pass away, and then even if we put humans in the ground and worms eat them, I mean that's what happens. I actually don't know. I've never actually seen a worm eat a human, but 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 that
Have you not seen?
go
Have you
back
not
to
seen Tremors, Phil?
we go
Oh,
back to the
geez.
earth, right? I mean, I think that's fair. And you say your cat loves you. Really? I don't know if cats do love their owner. They like the fact that they're we're the apex predator, and the fact that we give them food. But I'm not certain they love their lord and master.
No, no, they don't. They don't. They don't give a flying hoot, and that's kind of my point. I think we lay all these anthropomorphic emotions onto cats because we feel good about it. Oh, doesn't it love me? It's curled up on my lap. No, it's trying to keep warm. Oh, doesn't it love me? Oh no, I'm dead and it's now eating me. So I think that we're to blame. I don't think it's the cat's fault. I think if cats were bold, we wouldn't love them. If we saw a cat in its true state, well, in its
It's
sans fur, then I don't think I think we'd run a mile because they look really really freaky. They're no longer cute. And what does
there
that say
are
about us? It says we're pretty shallow, right?
there are some breeds of cats that are like that, right? I
And
wouldn't.
they look. Have you seen them? They look terrible.
Yeah, they look terrible. Um, but, but I'm a bit concerned about you keep going on about feces. You've mentioned it multiple times, Alistair. You seem to have a compulsion on that. I think you have a problem there. You've mentioned it so many times with different animals in this video. It's a bit concerning. Anyway, but going past that, so can we take it that if you've never seen your cat do its business, that you have a cat flap?
I've got a cat flap.
Ah. And is your cat flap electronic in such a way that it won't let other cats in, only your cat?
It is.
Right.
It is electronic in such a way. In fact, I think it said that on the box when I bought it.
Brilliant.
Electronic in such a way that this cat flap will
That's the
let
only...
other cats in. So, you know what? This is interesting because as I'm talking through it, I'm beginning to think that maybe humans are useless and cats are actually all right. They're just kind of going around doing their own thing. Our expectations are too high. We're anthropomorphizing them, or whatever the word is. I mean, cat food adverts will have us believe that they're smiling and grinning all the time. When you actually look at it, they can't actually do anything about it. We've got this fixed rictus grin, which isn't even a smile. We're just saying, oh, look, it's smile. No, it's not. It's just like that. Little face turned up. I can't do anything about it. We're overlaying what we want out of the cat. We want it to be cute. We want it to curl up next to us. We want it to have a cuddle and not run under a bus. We don't want it to eat our fingers. When really, ours is the problem. Our expectations are just way, way too high. Huh. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I think let's talk about the things that are, refute your premise that cats are useless. I mean, cats are amazing animals, right? They're got such amazing capabilities for balancing, for jumping incredible heights, for always landing on their feet. They've got huge, powerful jaws. They've got really powerful claws. I think they're an amazing animal. And if you, you go from the little small one to the size of a lion or a tiger. I mean, they're beasts. They're king of the animal kingdom, as a lion definitely is. And if you put a human up against a lion without some other thing like a gun or something, then you're dead meat, right? Literally. So I think cats are amazing animals.
I think I'm talking about a domestic cat. And my domestic cat is not an apex predator. In fact, what's the opposite of an ape? Let's hang on a minute. Apex predator. Opposite. Oh, prey, apparently.
I don't see cats as prey.
My cat. Okay, so my cat thinks. So my cat is a bully, right? It brings mice in. Pathetic. Anyone can do that. And
it's not bullying. It's not bullying the mice. It's killing the mice, right?
It plays with them first until it's dead, and then it completely loses interest and walks away.
I'm not saying it's bully. That's just. Does it do it multiple times? It's a serial killer, basically.
It's a serial killer of tiny little pointless, even less pointless animals.
Prey. We call them prey.
It kills birds, right? But it can't kill a proper bird like a golden eagle. It would run a mile. If a golden eagle appeared in our back garden, my cat would absolutely. Then I would see it shit itself. So it's like it's the opposite of an apex predator. It can't even work across the whole of a species. It just works on the little ones, a sparrow or whatever, and then gets completely tripped out when it sees a proper bird instead. That's pretty hopeless, right? That is hopeless.
I doubt your cat's going to see a golden eagle.
Oh, okay. So maybe Half-Baked is jumping into the land of the hypothetical.
I mean,
how crazy would that be?
Where I am, cats can get taken away by big hawks. I mean, I don't exactly know which ones.
There you go.
Hopeless. But yes, it is possible. But I'll describe them as hopeless, though. I don't know about that.
Hopeless, useless. I feel like you haven't refuted my argument because you talked about lions, which are amazing. Maybe I should have defined domestic cats a bit more. And you described them as apex predators, which they're clearly not. They're hopeless predators. They're serial bullies.
But I didn't really get your list of reasons why. I got the arse is too prominent, which is kind of bizarre. The second one I've forgotten already. And then 3 and 4 I didn't really get. You kind of brushed.
Yeah, they were all amazing. Terrible decision makers.
They're risk takers.
Fluctuate between a state of being completely asleep or being freaked out, like panic level DEFCON 1 or 5, whichever way round it is, and nothing in between, except when it's licking its own arse, which is way too prominent. Will eat me. That's not good. And yeah, and if they were bald, we wouldn't like them anyway. I've just described a rubbish pet, a rubbish animal. But I love my cat. I love my cat. I was without it for a couple of weeks recently because it stayed at my girlfriend's house, and I felt pretty lonely.
Well,
So
I kind of, in some, I don't think you've done it justice, Alistair, but I actually agree with you. I think cats are pretty useless. I think they're an amazing animal, but they are useless.
yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I probably haven't done it justice, and what I think I've realised during the course of this episode is that cats are actually okay. Humans are useless. I think that's where I am. There you have it, folks. An absolute bombshell. Cats are all right. Humans are hopeless because we anthropomorphize things and we wouldn't like them if they weren't cute and we get eaten by them. And Donald Trump. So yeah, humans are useless. After all, who knew we would get to that point? The half-baked idea is going in the bin. It's official.
Okay. Well, with that, we'll finish off this week's half baked, and we look forward to one next time.
Professionally done, Phil. Would you like me to take over?
I would, yes, very much so.
And I'm going to do that by saying thank you for listening. Please let us know. Do you have a cat? Has your cat eaten you? Is it a terrible decision maker? Is it baldy? Have you ever seen it have it done? We'd love to know all of these things. Am I right? Am I wrong? Are humans terrible and cats are actually great? And the whole thing just needs flipping on its head. Next week, or sometime in the very near future, another episode of Half Baked. Share, like, comment, tell your mates, put our faces on massive banners outside of your house and tell the world. That's what we'd like you to do. That wasn't very professional at all. That was terrible. I'm going to shut up. Thanks, Phil.
Bye.
Oh, look who's here. Oh, hello.